Hello, I'm about to show you how I found a vent in my wall and how I used it to add another ventilation and heating or cooling outlet for my living room because there was only one installed in this house, in this living room. So I thought that would be not enough, and I was looking for a way to do that, but I found a simple way to actually install it depending on the way your house is set up. I went to the basement and there was this one ventilation hole, and I was wondering where it was coming from, so I measured the distance between the wall by the window, and then when I went upstairs and there was this wall, it was only logical to look there in that wall. And I also measured from the other side and measured from the window 39 inches, and I just gave it a try. I made a small hole with my knife and there it was. I found a duct, so it wasn't that hard for me, and from there on it was easy to cut a hole and find the biggest one available. I wanted this to be a large opening, so I used a knife. It's not the safest way to go, but it worked for me. It was only one hole, so I gave it extra caution and slowly went to all sides, to left and right, because I wasn't sure how big the duct was. And after measuring it, I found the width and then just went and purchased the closest one available to it, which actually fitted perfectly in this case. So like I said, I would just slowly go by 2 inches every time so I don't cut out too much. And you can kind of look on the inside, press that little metal sheet there and then look, use a flashlight and look if it's enough. So I wanted to make this level and started on the bottom about 2 inches from the base trim, and then measured up on top. I think it was 6 inches, this opening, and made sure that it fitted perfectly. This one was three-way. It blows the air three ways, to the left, right and up, since it was on the bottom. I just kept making sure that I wouldn't cut out too much. And kept using my knife. And from there, when that's done, I would cut a hole also with my knife, use a hammer and just hit on it, and or use cutters. I in that duct I made a hole that was smaller than this hole, about half inches from each side, so when I bend it, it will go right on the drywall. And then I would use some tape so I don't lose any air, that no air goes into the wall, or that no cold air is coming from the wall. So just about half an inch longer, and just bend it towards each end, and make sure that you don't cut yourself. So I use the hammer, and afterwards I use some of that metal tape just to make sure that there are no holes, there are no gaps. And as you can see, the air is blowing through that hole. It's a big difference now. So take 4 pieces of the tape, put it on each side, and from then it's just put a ventilation outlet right there on it and screw it to the wall, and that would be it. And make sure that you don't go out too much with the tape. That's my kid right there. And so it's not visible once we put a cover on. I like this tape. It's easy to cut. You can just tear it down with your hands. It's easy to work with. It's very sturdy and strong. It won't break easily. After I installed this, there was a noticeable difference in the house and in the living room, because I just can't believe that they only left one opening, and it was from the ceiling on all the way at the end of the room. So this one will be on the other side of the room on the bottom, and when the two work together, they just it just makes a noticeable difference. So like I said, don't cut yourself, and make sure there are no gaps. And one more, and we are ready to put a cover on. And it also looks pretty on the gray wall, I suppose, with the white cover and white base trim there. I was very glad to find this when I was going to install an extra one somehow, because it was just not enough, but this one was just a saver. And now we're ready for the cover. Basically just you just use two screws that come with this cover, or any screws, and they will just go into the drywall. Make sure it fits. I want it to fit perfectly. I didn't want the hole to be too big, so I kind of had to pound on it to go in, but you can make the hole a little bit bigger. The reason why I'm doing this tone recording afterwards, because of my kids. They're just too loud, and this is easier. It's a little bit loose now, but I afterwards I made sure it's tight there, because I didn't want to go all the way in with the screws before I'm sure that it works and that it fits. So it only took me maybe half an hour to do all this, and looks pretty and does its job. And here's my son with his PJ Masks owlet figure. And there you go. Thanks for watching, and I hope I can do more videos soon as I get more experience with the videos. And come back and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.